We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
This presentation is about urban goods movement and transportation system management. First of all, we discussed about urban goods movement. In urban area, only very small proportion is represented by the trucks. Why this small proportion? Because the main reason is the design criteria, the design of the road networks. These road networks are typically designed for the mass transportation facility, for the people transportation, that is not for the basically goods transportation. So the width is lesser, the design criteria is mainly based on the vehicles that are used by the people only for the people transportation, not for the goods transportation. So many problems are occurring in the urban area related to the goods movement. Such problems are, first of all, the interaction between the commodity flow and the spatial arrangement of the land use. In the urban area, as we see the scenario of the land use, at each and every study area has the different kind of land use, and that land use typically has the different kind of urban goods movement demand. And for that demand, we have to provide the transportation facility, and that goods transportation facility cannot be achieved just because of the road pattern of urban area. Second one, the general efficiency and economy of good movements in the urban area. In the urban area, so many smaller sectors are there, household activities are there, that is affected the economy of your goods movement. After that, the environment's problem. The noise pollution and air pollution in urban area are mainly just because of the heavy vehicles pollution, that is from the truck as well as the cargo, which created more noise pollution as well as more air pollutions. And the last one, that is the provision of truck movements and the loading in the zone of concentrated land use such as CBD, because CBD is that kind of area which has the major kind of industry, major kind of household activities, or major kind of goods production. And as well as the CBD area is that area which have the more and more density, the road network are the width of the road network is lesser, and at that area you cannot easily provide the goods movement, because for the goods movement we require the truck, and that truck and the cargo that require larger area, and that larger area or the larger width of the road network is not available in the CBD. So these are some problems that we are facing in the urban area related to the goods movements. In mass transit facility, we require to identify the travel demand of the population. So in the urban goods movements, we have to identify the demand of the good movements, that how many quantity of goods is generated. So based on that quantity of a production, your good movements is dependable. Good movement depends are created by the economic activities. That economic activities can be production or can be the consumption. In this flowchart, you can easily identify that how demand of the goods movement is generated. Mainly in the starting portion there are the inputs there are the raw materials that come from the different sectors that will be collected. that after the collection portion that will go in the economic activity can be happened in the household or can be happened in the major industry, smaller industry, etc. In that industry, the totally production thing, the totally product being completed, that is happening in the your economic activities. After that completion, there will be your output, that is your finished product, that will be go in the different sectors for the selling purpose or the consumption purpose. To easily identify this thing, we took an example of the industry. In one industry, we require the raw material, so we collect raw material in the industry. Then economic activities happening by the different machinery. Different machinery help to complete the product, and after the product is completed, that will be your finished product, and that will be go on the output portion. So there are many, basically two factors are there for the urban goods movement. First, the quantity of food. If the quantity of good is more and more, so the transportation demand is more. As the population is more, so travel demand is more. So if your quantity of good is more, so travel demand of the good movement is also more. That is mainly dependable on the two things, that is the commodity and the consignment. If the commodity required the major production, if commodity product have the or commodity have the raw material, so there will be more amount of good production. And the second, consignment. If the industry have the larger consignment, so they can make more and more product, and that product will directly connected to the your goods movement. Second factor that affect the good movement, travel demand, that is frequency. The flow chart, as you can see that flow chart, input, economic activities and output is frequent. That process is too much fast, so in the short time of a period you make the product ready, so you can get more and more consignment and more product are there, so more production, more good, and more transportation of the your good movements are there. So this is the urban goods movement. So in the last of the urban goods movement, there is the classification. If you want to classify the goods movement in the urban area, that can be two things. First, internal, and second, that is an external. Internal is nothing but when the goods movements is happening in the one industry only, from one building to the another building, or from the one society to the another society, the distance is too much lesser and you do not require any kind of vehicles are there, so that will be the your internal transportation, where there is no kind of requirement of the your vehicles transportation. Second, the external goods transportation, that is the main reason of the problems in the urban area, as well as the main concern or the main attraction that we have to focus in the planning strategy of the urban goods movements. First, that is the direct consignment. The direct consignment is that kind of a consignment which is in the study area only, which is in the one city limit, or which is in the nearer part of area. The distance between the raw material and the finished product is too much convenient with each other. So in the direct consignment, the production or the material, the raw material or the finished product, that can be carried by truck or the various kind of different truck, that can be a larger, that can be a smaller. And the direct consignment can be in the inter industry, that one industry to the another industry, as well as it can be based on the household, the raw material that will be collected from the household, or the product that will be completed in the house area only. And the second one, that is the freight terminal consignment, that is the larger consignment. When we require the larger quantity of good, when we transport larger amount of good, as well as we transport it from the one area to the another area which are far away from each other, that can be carried out by the truck or the railway, and that have the pickup stand as well as the delivery stands. So this is all about the urban goods movement. There are two elements in the preparation of a comprehensive transportation plan to guide improvements to the transportation system. First element, that is the transportation system management, that is the short term, and the second one, that is the your long range element. So first we discussed about the transportation system management, that is the package of the short term measure, and this short term measure is to make the most productive and cost efficient use of existing transportation facilities. So which are the existing facilities? That are the automobiles, taxi, trucks, terminals, pedestrians, bicycles are all parts of the urban transportation system. For efficient use of these all services, these all facilities, we have to take some basic strategies. For these strategies, there are different 4 actions are there. If we follow these 4 actions, we can easily make the efficient use of existing facilities, existing modes, etc. First action, that to ensure the efficient use of existing road space, because road width is that kind of a criteria which is too much limited. We cannot easily modify the road space. So first of all, identify the given road use is mainly or the efficiently used or not. After that, the second one, that is the congested area. Reduce the vehicle use in the congested area, because the main transportation problem is occurring in the congested area only. So whenever you reduce the vehicles amount in the congested area, it will give you the quick transportation as well as the easy transportation of each and every people. Third action that you should take, that is to improve the transportation services, improve the transit services. Obviously there will be so many transit system available in the urban area, because urban area is the smart kind of an area. So whichever transit services are there, try to improve the existing services and neglect to provide more and more extra kind of a facility. So if there are the lacking part or the portion of the transit area which is lacking, find out that problem and solve that problem. That will be improve your transit services. And the last one, that is the to improve internal management efficiency. The management, the manager, the contractor, the operator, there should be connection between each and every compartment with each and every people who are connected or who are engaging in the or mass transportation facility. If they all are connected with each other, you can easily make or easily manage your urban transportation management system. When you follow this different 4 action, different 4 strategy, you can maximize the urban mobility in your urban area, and that will be give you the more and more development. Transportation system management process outline. So this is the main basic process by which the total system is managed. For the management purpose, we need the organization. That organization can be at the state level or can be at the publicly owned transit operators. That operators formulate different policy strategy and development of the short range objectives. Like an example, efficient use of existing facilities, increase in the urban mobility, energy conservation, improvement in the air quality, land use impact, safety, etc. After making the policy strategy, after formulating the policy strategy, we need to collect the data, and that data collection will help to identify what are the problems in the existing system, to identify what are the different characteristics of existing system. By study the different characteristic, you can easily identify what are the different problem in the your study area. After identifying different problems that can be related to the congestion or that can be related to the transit service, after identifying the problems, find out what are the different solutions that can be at your study area. After find out the solution, find out the evaluation, that it will be effective on your study area or not. After the evaluation, after the development of the evaluation, find out which solution that will be possible at your study area only, because there are number of solutions are there, but you have to put that solution in your locality, your area, and if there is a connection between that, then that solution will be at the selection point of view. So do the evaluation of each and every possible solution, select specific solutions. There will be number of solutions are there. If you are finding out 10 solutions, so from after the evaluation you may be find out that 5 solutions are there that will be totally appropriate in my study area, in my locality. So after that, list out which are the selected solutions are there, and on that solution put the project, initiate that, and you can totally carry on your management system. That on that basically solution you are managing your totally management system. In the transportation system management, there is also one part, that is traffic management, because in the urban area the main problems are occurring because of the traffic only. People not follow the traffic rules, regulation, the traffic management system is not proper, and because of that leaking criteria, the congestion problem, traffic problems occur so much, and that will be the negative point of your total study area. So here listed techniques are there, by which technique you can manage the traffic scenario of your study area. First of all, there is a regulatory techniques. That techniques which you can provide at each and every area to regulate the existing traffic, the existing vehicular movements, like to provide one-way street, restriction on the turning movements, exclusive bus lane, closing side street, etc. The second criteria, that is the traffic control devices. To put traffic control devices that can be automatic or that can be manually operated. So different control devices can be provided to decrease the congestion area as well as to follow the traffic rules and regulation. So the examples are the traffic control devices are traffic signals, traffic sign, road marking, speed breaker, channelized intersection, etc. Third one, the traffic segregation technique. In the urban area, there is a mixed kind of a traffic flow, and we have to segregate that vehicular transportation facility. If you easily segregate, the congestion is lower as well as the accident will be also lesser. So the techniques that are the pedestrian grade separation, provide a sidewalk, central divider, footpath, busway, cycle track, etc. Next, demand management techniques. In the demand management techniques, that are the examples, that are the you provide the parking restriction, entry fees. So in that area the people will not come into that area or do not stop the vehicles, so the congestion will be lower. Like provide the priority for bus in traffic, as well as provide road and bridge toll, uh, restriction on the entry of truck during the daytime. That is the demand management techniques. So on the basically demand, you provide some restriction. Next, self-enforcing technique that can be done by the people only. That people, the driver, the pedestrian, the person who are using the road, that follow the rules and regulation by themselves only, like sharing of a taxi, careful driving, obey traffic, etc. And the last one, that is the police public interaction techniques, in which the police department get connect with the public by providing the awareness programs, by providing the traffic booth, by providing the system condition broadcast. That is the thing by which they can give the awareness about the traffic scenario. They give the knowledge of the rules and regulation and how to follow the traffic rules, etc. So these are the different techniques that should be followed in the traffic management, so the traffic, or you can say the congestion of your study area, that can be decreased. Long range element. To make provision for long range transportation need of the urban area, the long range element identifies facility to be constructed, major changes to be made to existing facility, and long range policy action. This element can be said as the future land development policy, that adding the highway link, or by installing the busway system, by installing the mass transit system, by installing the metro system, etc. In TSM element, many long range alternatives must be evaluated before decision can be made. In this element, we identify which facilities that to be constructed, major changes are there that will be in the exit facility, as well as long range policies are there. And this kind of problems, that will be evaluation on the long range alternative only, is based on the longer much development, maybe can be the 10, 15 or 20 years. And the last one here, when in the long range element, travel demand play a main important role, that how many people are traveling from the one portion to the another portion, and that give the major contributor to the planning tool used in the evaluating different alternatives for long range element.